Thank you. Senator Daines.
Thank you. Today's an opportunity for us to discuss something the whole world is focused on and how energy plays a pivotal role in global politics. The importance of energy security and global energy dominance cannot be overstated. It's something I've been vocal on since I first came to Congress in 2013. The United States has an abundance of energy. Vast oil, natural gas, coal, water, wind, solar, strong nuclear energy programs. This abundance should be used as a tool, not only for our own energy security, but also for supplementing and supporting our overseas partners. We do it the right way here in America. In terms of environmental stewardship, the more energy that can be produced in America, the better we are overall in terms of global environmental stewardship, because we do it the right way. We have the most stringent environmental standards. This abundance should be used as a tool to drive more energy production in America, to secure our future economically and geopolitically, but instead of growing this all-of-the-above energy portfolio and diversifying and strengthening our domestic supply chains, this administration has taken action after action to weaken domestic energy and advance a very one-sided, very ideological climate agenda. This effort has weakened America's ability to respond globally and has further emboldened Putin's weaponization of energy. Now, I've heard the White House say again and again that they have done nothing to weaken American oil and gas production. That could not be further from the truth. That is a lie. Since day one in office, this administration has sent a chilling message to traditional energy production. Whether it's official actions from the administration or statements by his appointees, he's made it clear that he intends to shut down domestic oil and gas production and mining. Don't just take it from me. Here are the facts. In the Democrat primary debate on CNN, President Biden himself made it a campaign promise to stop all oil and gas production, saying, and I'm quoting the president, "No more drilling on federal lands, no more drilling, including offshore, no ability for the industry to continue to drill, period." Those came from President Biden. On day one, his administration, he personally killed the Keystone XL pipeline. Then he took action to halt federal oil and gas lease sales. By the way, Montana still has not had a lease sale, despite federal law and a federal judge requiring it. Then he revoked existing, already purchased leases in Alaska's 1002 area. Following all that, the Biden administration began a regulatory deluge of rules limiting domestic production. The EPA is increasing regulations on methane emissions. The administration is creating even more uncertainty for WOTUS regulations. FERC recently passed rules to make it more difficult to permit new natural gas pipelines and facilities. Then there was the tax and spend bill that the president was strongly pushing that included higher royalty rates, new methane fees, higher taxes, more roadblocks. President Biden has also appointed a long list of far-left anti-energy nominees that want to destroy oil and gas, close off capital markets, and stoke climate fear. John Kerry, the U.S. Special Presidential Envoy for Climate, is more focused on the emissions of the war in Ukraine than the war himself, saying, obviously, I'm quoting Mr. Kerry, obviously you're going to have massive emissions as a consequence of the war. But equally importantly, he said, you're going to lose people's focus, and said later that the Ukraine refugees, this is what he said in the last couple of days, will be nothing like the climate refugees we will see. Secretary Hahn, Secretary of Interior, has said, and I quote her, "I am wholeheartedly against fracking and drilling on public lands." Gina McCarthy, former EPA minister under Barack Obama, now the White House National Climate Advisor, said, and I quote, "This is a day of reckoning for the oil and gas sector." Sarah Bloom Raskin, the nominee for the Federal Reserve, urged the Federal Reserve to stop investing in traditional energy. This was not a term paper from college. This was a New York Times op-ed she wrote in March of 2020, saying, and I quote her, "Fossil fuels are a terrible investment, and the Fed should not, quote, prop up and enrich oil and gas." Ms. Omarova, the former nominee for comptroller of currency, said she wanted small oil and gas players to go bankrupt. All of these actions and statements have real-world market consequences. They chill the capital markets. They chill the risk and reward equation as we're looking to expand and explore new areas for American energy. Fertilizer prices are out of control. You talk to your farmers and ranchers, as I do back home in Montana, they've more than doubled. Some can't even get it, and some are wondering, can I get the fertilizer in the ground this spring so I can even plant? Investments are trending down. Domestic oil production was lower in 21 than it was in 2019. Since President Biden's first day in office, oil prices have steadily gone up, up, and up. And when oil prices skyrocketed, gasoline prices spiked. Instead of calling on the United States, if I was President Biden, watch what's going on with $5 a gallon plus gasoline. Rather than reach out to Venezuela, rather than reach out to Iran, why wouldn't the first instinct of this president be, let's call the oil and gas producers across America to the White House for an emergency summit and talk about how do we get another 3 to 5 billion barrels a day here in America or in Canada? I mean, from trusted allies. When his instincts were to reach out to adversaries, that tells you a lot about how captivated he is and held hostage to the climate change ideology, which is wreaking havoc right now in the global energy markets. Why on earth would the United States want to increase imports from unstable and adversarial countries? We could increase production here, work with Canada, as well as U.S. producers to increase our energy trade. We can and should be energy dominant. And by the way, this challenge is not going away in the next 3 to 6 months. We've got to get back on track of a Made in America energy strategy, because peak oil, we're still 15, 20, 30 years away from peak oil in the world, not to mention in our country as well. We can do it. We should do it. Mr. Chairman, I'm going to ask one question here for Ms. Hertias, and that is, what action can the administration and Congress take today to spur investment and production of all the above energy portfolio that includes oil, gas, coal, nuclear, hydro, wind, solar, and more?
Yeah, thank you, Senator Daines. I think that I fully agree that this is a moment in time where we can and we must do both. We need to look at the energy system as a whole. We need to invest heavily and continue against our objectives in the energy transition and make sure that we're looking at how we move forward really in a fundamental way to get CCUS projects up and running, how we make sure that we are bringing more molecules as well as electrons into the total system. And much of that has to do with actions that can be taken on permitting and on leasing, as well as looking at infrastructure to make sure that we have the ultimate degree of flexibility that we will need and do need right now to continue to look after the totality of the energy system.
Thank you so much, and we'll have a.
Thanks for watching, and if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to our channel. And while you're at it, please leave us a comment. Thank you for watching.